Hi, welcome to Gameolio 70. We're gamers, we play games, talk games, and then we come here and we talk games, and I already said that, but there you go. So, this week we have got Phuong. Hello.
Hi-yo.
How's it going?
Good, good.
How's everything there at the Daily Planet? We got
good.
Got some hot tips. What's going on?
My boyfriend's playing Street Fighter.
Oh, of course he is. Is he winning? That's the question. Because if he's winning, then it's okay.
Yeah, he's winning.
He's winning?
Last time I checked, he was winning.
Okay, all right. We'll have to check back in with you from time to time to get an update on that progressing story. There we go. Yes. And Haven, hello Haven. How are you going? How's things? What's happening? Where are you? What's going on? Hello.
Playing games. Playing too much of Soul Sacrifice and kind of neglecting the whole Last of Us thing. Not really neglecting, it's progressing very slowly.
Yeah. Are you scared? Are you scared?
It's quite intense, I must say.
It is. It's not even that it's scary. It's just that some of the things you come across, some of the situations are like, wow, I did not expect that, and now I have to deal with this. And the fact that I just did that, and then, I just did that again. Whoops! And it's it's kind of like The Walking Dead in a way, like the enemies, that we have seen, the infected enemies. It's kind of like a background. It's like a backdrop to a more emerging storyline with your characters, the characters you deal with directly. So yeah, it is intense. I will give you that. Certainly after the first couple of minutes, and it doesn't really let up. You have a couple of breaks here and there, but damn. Yeah, it's like people have been asking me, well, what do you think about this game? And I said, well, it's not really a game. I don't see it as a game. I see it as an experience the same way I see Silent Hill as an experience, not really a game as such. There's not like I've got to time my jump perfectly so I can get over that little void there, otherwise I'm going to die. It's just escape and run for your life and stay alive. And, it's not really fun. It's like watching a movie that's the end is most of it's just depressing, and then there's a little light at the end of the tunnel. It's not really something you enjoy. It's just you've put yourself through that experience to have a bit of, I guess, empathize or see it from their point of view and say, we went on this journey together. So I hear. Okay, cool. Well, maybe when Phuong gets when she plays through it a little bit, we'll have a little bit more in depth talk about it. And I think by that,
just complain lots.
you may. But that's good. That's all right. It's good to have somebody who isn't all about this is definitely a 10 out of 10 experience. Everything's fantastic about it. There's nothing that's wrong with it. So I've just sort of put it down as a good book. A nice book to have read through, and I'm glad that I did. Right, so Rich and I were talking last week about the sort of post E3 with Sony and what happened with Sony during, and of course the stomping that they gave towards the end of their little bit. But I don't know if that's really. I don't know if you two wanted to comment on that much, but I did. We did sort of. We talked about it as best as we could, but we sort of thought, well, Haven and I would probably have better or more to say on this than we would, and that was Square Enix's little thing where they talk about the Final Fantasy 15 and the Kingdom Hearts, of course. So, which
are all going multi-platform.
Yeah, they're not Sony exclusives.
Yeah.
So what do you think? But I mean, what do you think about the whole, change of name from Versus to 15? Is that something which excited you at the time? Is it?
I think it makes sense. I think they were meant to be in similar worlds, or I think the Versus was meant to be some kind of spin-off game, but I think it just got so huge they decided to just change it to 15.
Yeah.
Another thing I could think of, the reason why they changed it to 15 is just because 13 is going forever and they need to kill it.
Yep.
They need to this is stupid because what is it in the new 13 game? Lightning has like 50 bajillion costumes, and one of them's like Cloud's outfit
Yeah.
from 7.
Yep.
Apparently, Final Fantasy characters are getting cameos in the new MMO coming out in 14. It's like, what? Just, I don't want Lightning in my game. If I see her, I want to kill her. Just
Maybe you'll be
keep
lucky.
her
Maybe
out of
she'll be a
14.
raid boss or something like that.
Keep her out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, that's my thought on it.
Yeah. Haven, what do you think? That's what I think too. I was just laughing the whole time.
I think it makes sense that. Yeah, I think they've been making that game for how long now? Like 6 years or
forever.
7 years?
It's it's got to a point where it's like, well, what is this thing? And what is the versus? Why is it fighting itself? Like, what's going on? What is that all about? And is this going to be a thing? Like, will there be a Final Fantasy 15 versus? Will there be a Final Fantasy? It just was the title itself was kind of ridiculous in a way, and
yeah,
I mean,
but then at the same time is I think what I see the potential risk is that it looks like now Final Fantasy 15 is an action RPG game which completely deviate from what Final Fantasy games, because in the past they still maintain certain type of turn-based to keep the Final Fantasy feel for the whole series.
yeah.
But now it seems that because versus 13 originally was not supposed to be like a token flagship Final Fantasy game. It was a spin-off game. But now they become 15, and so far the trailer or the demos that I've seen, that it seems that they actually developed this as a very
We're losing him.
We're losing him to the wind.
like a completely action kind of game. It's like an adventure action RPG game.
Yeah.
So I don't know how.
I think, you know what I think's going on? I think you're lagging way behind, because I said something before and it took you about 5 seconds to register. Now I just can't hear you at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Is there anything happening over there? Is somebody pirating your internets? What's going on?
I hope not.
So the cat is on the internet somewhere, looking up all sorts of information.
Just eating, busily eating.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll sign out my Sony
Some lolcats.
PS3 to see whether it helps.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that maybe something's downloading? I don't know.
I'm not downloading anything.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
I hope nobody is actually hacking my network.
Yeah, there's always somebody out there hacking internets. They're out there in the sewers just hacking internets. Them bums. Okay, that's all right. I think you're okay now. So let's continue. You were midway through a Final Fantasy thing.
Yeah, so I thought that now 15, versus 13 became 15. And then it seems like 15 is a complete different direction in terms of how
We're just not. It's just not happening.
Because, like, to me, now 15 is a full. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I think.
So I don't know how people react to that.
All right, Haven, I'm going to have to hang up on you and I'll call you back because we didn't hear half of that. All right, let me see if I can find the hang up button and I will hang up live. There we go. Bang! Hung up on him. And then I'll call him back because I'm a nice guy like that. So let's call him back. But
hello?
Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to the podcast.
Is it better?
We'll see. If you don't cut out for 2 minutes, then we should be fine. Okay. Haven.
Hopefully.
There we go. Okay.
Yep.
Final Fantasy. Yes.
So where was I cut out?
I have no idea because it just went out. You started talking about Final Fantasy or something.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is it was supposed to be a spin-off.
Yep.
And now it become a flagship title.
Yep.
But then it seems that the gameplay is no longer your Final Fantasy normal Final gameplay. It became an action RPG.
Yeah.
And it becomes like an action adventure RPG.
It's not happening.
So, I don't know. Enix want to take 15.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We missed you again.
going
And you
crazy.
just keep going in and out, and we just get like snippets of information.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. Have a
What
look.
I'll do is I think I will sign my. But I have not. I have signed most of the stuff out.
I don't know, dude. Maybe try running a speed test. Go to speedtest.net and just run that and see what happens. See if it gives you what you usually get in terms of speed. Yeah, speedtest.net.
Speedtest.net. Yeah.
So iPhone.
Yes.
I could see you sitting there just drinking your Pepsi. Okay, so that's the Final Fantasy thing, right? And we heard what you said. But what about the Kingdom of the Hearts 3?
I guess it's interesting. Oh, also the reason why the gameplay is so different for 15 is because the team who do Kingdom Hearts is doing versus as well. Oh, 15, sorry.
Okay.
So that's why it's kind of like real-time action, blah, blah, blah. Kingdom Hearts 3, I guess I'm interested. I'm interested to see where they can go from here because they've just
I just got to stop you for a second, okay? Because I actually wish I recorded on the night reactions because that wasn't the reaction I heard, iPhone. Even though we were typing, it was more like this. Ah!
Because I was waiting for it. But then I guess maybe it's because everything else was so boring. I got super excited. Which one came first? Was it 15 or was it Kingdom Hearts 3 came out first?
Final Fantasy. Yeah, that was first. And then the
I could have been riding on that hype.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, now that I kind of like calmed down from that hype, I can see those two kind of like, I guess, objectively.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes. With analytical
Kingdom Hearts
eyes.
3.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I'm wondering what worlds they're going to put in other than the classics because Disney has acquired some interesting companies and characters that they could use.
Yes.
So we very well may see some Marvel characters in there and stuff. And
Or
I
Chewbacca.
think the director was saying, oh, it'd be interesting if I could get some licensing for them.
Yep.
So, I mean... could be awesome.
A Yoda might invade. Might
Maybe.
be a couple of Chewbaccas there.
Maybe one
R2D2,
of the-
C3PO. Oh, you know, R2D2 and C3PO are going to be in it for sure.
Could
Absolutely. Absolutely, they'll be there. Yep.
Or there'll be like Keyblades. There's got to be a lightsaber kit like Keyblade. If there
Yeah.
not it's just a huge cop out.
Yeah.
You want one, you know you do.
Oh.
I'm wondering what they're going to add into the game that makes because I think every game they've had like an interesting game mechanic.
Yeah.
And from that really small snippet that we saw in the game, I wonder if it's like you controlling Sora real time riding that wave of shadow heartless thingies. That would be cool, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. At the end of number 2, was there finality or was it one which sort of led on to the possibility of a third or not without spoilers? I mean, did it yeah. No?
No, there's no finality in any Kingdom Hearts game.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've all got like secret endings or like little things that you see at the end of the credits that go for like 5 seconds, but it doesn't mean it's finished.
Okay.
It may be that it's not ever gonna finish ever.
Right.
It's just really like, ugh.
Okay. That's okay. Well, I mean, this is gonna be the next generation, right? This is gonna be PS4. Yes?
Yeah.
So
Already the graphics look like CGI graphics.
okay. Yes.
So it looks really good.
Right. Okay. All right. Haven.
Yep. Can you hear me better now?
You sound fantastic.
Okay.
You sound... Oh,
that was my BlackBerry. That's all.
there we go. It was notifying you of how awesome you sound. So yes, I agree.
Hopefully.
Okay, so we'll move on. Something that's been happening recently, as recent as yesterday or the day before, was the Steam summer sales. It's happened.
Oh God.
It's dropped.
Oh God.
It's not summer in Australia, but with those sales, it may as well be because it's heating up because, damn it, those games are cheap And, well, here's the thing. Last time this happened, I bought a whole heap of games. Now when I look at the Steam sales, I'm like, I've got this one, I haven't got that one. It's bloody cheap. I'm going to get it. Whereas last year, well, I probably would have spent a lot more last year. But anyway, point is, games are cheap and they're there. There was Borderlands 2, I think it was 66% off or something like that. And I managed to resist. I resisted. I was wanting it, but I stopped myself. I said, no, I'm waiting maybe for 1 or 2 games this year. But it's out. It's there. Phuong, have you succumbed to the pressure of cheap games?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've already given up.
How many have you purchased? How many different games?
All right, let me just have a look here.
Oh my god.
If you have to look up a list, that's usually
Oh no, not that many.
a bad
but quite a
sign.
lot. But only because I've had my eye on these games earlier.
Yeah.
So Faster Than Light, like most of them are indie games. I got Hotline Miami as well, which is a really interesting game. If you haven't played it before, definitely have a look at it because it is really trippy.
Yeah.
And the music is just really interesting.
It's just every time I look at the screenshots, I think this is that game everyone talks about. I look at the screenshots, I'm like, ugh.
It's really crazy, but the story is really interesting.
Yeah.
And the art style is very relevant to what's going on. And the music and everything helps immerse you into this kind of I have no idea what's going on in this world kind of game.
Okay.
It's really cool. I got the new Tomb Raider, or the latest Tomb Raider game, and Hitman Absolution, which was out ages ago. I still haven't played it.
Yeah. Oh, that was cheap. That was very cheap. That was like $6 or something.
Yeah, it was like $6. That's why I got it.
Yeah.
So, I think that's about it. I don't think I got anything else.
Well, it's
So
only
not
just starting,
too
so
bad.
it's only just warming up. So there are quite a
God.
few more days to
I
go.
try not to log on once I know that the sales is on.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. Well, I mean, good and bad. I mean, there are some good deals there, so it's probably worth looking at if you're after something. But if you're not after anything in particular, and you look at that, well, you may be tempted by the cheap pricing. I mean, you got like The Witcher 2 is like $5 at the moment, for example.
How much are they selling
get through the
Torchlight for?
Sorry?
Torchlight, how much are they selling it for?
Torchlight. I don't know about that one. It's not on
$10.
sale.
Torchlight 2 is $10.
Yeah,
God, that's so cheap.
But that'll even drop. Like once that eventually gets there, which I'm sure it will, you may end up getting for like $6 or something like that. You know, so. There is something, I'm just looking at it now. There's something here with the next community choice. It's been selected. It's System Shock 2. It says negative 75%, and it's going to cost $0.00. So refresh your screen in 16 minutes and just see if you can get it for free. I don't know. Anyway.
It says $2.50 for mine.
Oh, does it? Oh, I'm going to get it cheaper. What happened? What's going on here? Why does it say $0 for me? Oh, no, it says $2.50 now. I think they fixed that. I think they noticed that and they went, hey, Fred, what have you done? $2, come on. It's not that cheap. All right, so the only thing I've purchased so far is Dark Souls. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Dark Souls. Prepare to die.
Dark Souls.
Yeah. This is because it was you, Haven, wasn't it? You used to talk about it a lot, Dark Souls, didn't you? Yeah. So I thought, well, I better check it out, see what the fuss is about. And it was only like, what, $14, $12, $13, something like that? Cheap? It was cheap.
It's cheap.
That's very cheap.
Yeah, it was very cheap.
Very cheap.
So I got that. I downloaded it. I had a look at it, and I was like, what the heck is this? Why is it running slow? What's going on with the graphics? What? Why does it look like 720p? I selected 1080. What? And apparently you need to apply a fix, which is not an official fix. And then I remembered about this game, and I remembered this being the one which the developers themselves said, we kind of did a crappy job where we did the port. But fans or whatever, they've got on board and they've tweaked this and tweaked that, and it was very simple to just download this little patch thing which you just pop into the directory and all of a sudden it works. So you get your 1080 and you get your they reckon you should leave it as 30 frames per second, but you can sort of tweak it and make it go up to 60. But you get a few sort of anomalies happening. So I don't know. I think they're still working on that. So, but it's playable now. So before I just, you turn it and it's just turning it and it's not turning. And yeah, so a little bit annoying. So if you've got that and you did buy that, well, just go onto the boards, the community section for Dark Souls, and you'll see up the top in the forum there, a little thing for tweaks and patches and so on. I think there's only 2. Pinned items, so you just click on one of those and it'll take you to where you need to go and you can download and pop it in and you're good to go. So so no, I did play a little bit of that and I think I'm digging it. I think I am. It's
interesting.
Yeah, it's sort of cool at the moment, but I'm very early on. I did get picked up by some big crow raven thing and hauled off somewhere, and I thought that was kind of cool. And I was walking past and I noticed that it was sitting on a ledge and went, wow, that's a big crow. And where else are you going to take me? So, and then there was a guy who started talking. I started fighting him, and then he wanted to fight back, and then we just kept fighting, and he was pretty tough until I kicked him off a ledge. So, and he was, I'm still not sure if that was supposed to happen, because he was like a quest guy or something. He was like talking to me before, and I just went, it was purely by accident, but he went off the edge, and I got a lot of souls. So, good and bad, I guess. I don't know if there's such a thing in that world. Yes. So that's all I got at the moment. I am looking to get Secret World because it's now not free to play, but you don't have to pay subscription. And it's kind of a funky little world that I've always wanted to jump into because it's different to all the other worlds that are out there, which are usually, here's a sword, here's a shield, and go fight dragons. And I'm a bit over that. Like, there's only so many times I could do that. So this one is like dealing with the Illuminati and like ghosts and monsters and things like that. So I thought this might be a change of pace. So I am waiting for that one to go on sale. I think it's like $19 at the moment or something. So I'll wait. I'll be cheap. I'll just wait till it goes even lower. If it does, hopefully it does. Otherwise I'll buy it just before the sales end. It is reduced at the moment. So yes. But do that. If you like games and you got a PC, then Steam sales, yay! I think that's about all that's available for Australia because I remember there was the couple of weeks ago, there was the Amazon one, but you couldn't buy anything, at least not with an Australian account. Maybe if you make a US account, somehow you could have got through and got some of those games because they were really cheap too. They were ridiculously cheap. So, yeah. All right, iPhone. What you been doing lately? What you been playing? What you been going at?
Well, I mentioned before I was playing Hotline Miami. And
yeah.
I did play a little bit of Dark Souls as well. What have I been playing? I've actually been really busy like this past week, so I haven't really been playing. Oh, no, there is one game that I've been playing. Project Cross Zone. That's one that I was playing for a while.
Cross Zone?
Yeah, so it's written as Project X Zone, but you pronounce it Project Cross Zone. So it's that 3DS game that it's like a RPG tactics fighting or action game. It's like crossover of Namco, Capcom, and someone else. I can't remember, but it's like a crossover universe, and yeah, I don't actually really know how to explain it succinctly because it's just crazy. So what happens is apparently the universe has gone all crazy and everyone from all these different dimensions have come to Japan. Like they've all warped to Japan and now they're all trying to get back to their own worlds. So you have like Jin and Xiaoyu from Tekken and there's like Ken and Ryu from Street Fighter and stuff. And you guys just fight monsters from all different universes that are from Street Fighter or from Super Robot Tyson or something like that as well.
Okay.
And yeah, it's interesting. There's you move around on a map to engage an enemy and then you go to another screen where it's like the action fighting part. And it's just like a really simple combo system and you just have to time your hits so you get the maximum amount of hits before you run out of time. It's really strange. And the game is actually really, really repetitive. It's the same thing over and over again. There's nothing special about it. And I've gotten to the point where there's like hundreds of enemies on the map, and it takes like an hour, 2 hours to clear one map. So it gets really, really grindy, but for some reason I really love this game. So like if you have no idea, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but if you kind of like go to YouTube and just look at the videos, it's really cool, but the story is not very interesting either. The only reason why you'd play the game.
Does it actually have a story? I mean,
yeah,
of course, it's a story background, but does it actually have a story?
Basically, it's everyone suddenly shows up in different parts of Japan, or I think it's first in Japan, and then suddenly they warp to different places from different games. So at one point they jump to like there's the mall that's in Dead Rising, and Frank West is like, holy crap, what the hell's going on? And then zombies warp in and you got to fight them, and it's really strange. It's a really strange game with a really strange non-existent story. A very weak story, but it's cool.
Okay.
It's pretty much just like putting all your favorite characters from big companies into one game, and that's about it.
And that's on 3DS, right?
Yeah, it's only on 3DS.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like, really, just have a look on YouTube and you see what I mean. But it's not.
I'd like to see Ken and Ryu just throw them in like World of Warcraft. They're just in there.
They do freak out a little bit, like
I mean, brilliant.
In some instances. There are like really good dialogue bits.
Okay.
Like some of it's really funny, and some of the characters acknowledge each other from other games. So I think it's like Dante and Ryu or Morrigan from Darkstalkers, and they're like, "Hey, it's been a while since I've seen you," since they've been in other games together. So it's kind of cool.
Okay. Awesome. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes. And Haven. Haven.
Yep.
What have you been playing? What's been happening on that side?
Yeah, I'm playing a lot is Soul Sacrifice.
Yep.
Yeah, which I quite like it actually.
Yeah. Now this game hasn't
the premise of Soul Sacrifice.
It didn't receive super duper glowing reviews. I think it was sort of average-ish, high average. But you're enjoying it?
7-ish.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's very repetitive.
Yeah.
So the gameplay itself is basically you go into a dungeon, you clear out the dungeon, your objective, or you clear out a boss, your objective is fulfilled, and that's all. But the story itself is very interesting. So the premise is that you are actually a captive in the game. So you're a captive by a person or super mage called Magusa, and Magusa continues to live by consuming other people's souls. So you probably the next target in the cell area, like in the prison, that's going to consume your soul. But lucky enough that the last person whose soul was consumed left a book behind, and the book called Libra. So Libra actually is a talking book. And he was trying to persuade you to read him so that you know how to. If you were able to completely finish reading him, you might be able to find a way to deal with Magusa and kill Magusa and get yourself out of that situation. So the story basically is about you reliving the memories of the author. The author is basically not Magusa. It's the author's time with Magusa in the past, and why did Magusa became who he became now, and what are the secrets to defeat Magusa. So the funny thing about this game is that you don't need to read through the whole book to face Magusa, because if you want to, you can jump from chapter 1 to directly go to final boss, which is Magusa already. So it has like the option of continue reading or fight Magusa.
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah, we're still here.
Sorry.
I was just wondering if we're...
I was like, you guys are there. Yeah, so, but the funny thing is, Librum will actually let you know at which stage you can actually fight Magusa. So, for example, if your level is already high enough, they would tell you that I think maybe if you try, you might be able to kill Medusa without finish reading me. So it gives you a good guidance of how far you want to go. But of course, if you read everything, you know everything about the story. And of course, because what happened is the skills you learn from reliving the author's memory, actually, the skills you learn, you acquire them. So that, of course, that means if you completely finish reading the book, you get a lot more high level spells. What they call offerings are basically spells that you can use against Medusa or any enemies. But I think the story itself is quite interesting. It's very dark. Basically, it's always about like the life of a sorcerer is to rid the world of monsters and curses, but in the process, because what you is you have a choice of either saving that life or sacrificing the life of the monster of your or the opponents. So and the way that you do it is if you decide to sacrifice or you decide to save, actually affects how you level up. So if you decide to save lives, for example, you save your enemies instead of sacrificing them, then your defense and your HP and like your protective stats actually go up. But if you decide to sacrifice your enemies, then your attack and like the offensive stats, they go up. So the character goes up to a total of 100 levels. So you can, and each either the defensive or offensive stats starts with level 1. So you could, if you want to, end up with a character that is level 99 in terms of attack, but with level 1 in terms of defense. So that means that you could get killed pretty quickly, but then every single hit that you achieve will be devastating. Or you can achieve level 99 in your defense stat and your offensive stat, which means that you'll survive for the long battle, but you might not be able to kill the bosses and your enemies quickly. So it's the kind of like decision that you have to make throughout the game, and then the decision you make actually shows up on your what they call the right arm, your arm that actually where you cast your spells. So the color of your arm changes over time as when you level up. So if you actually decide to sacrifice, if your attack stats actually goes beyond the defense stats, then the arm turns black and spells like red spells will be surrounding the arm. But if you actually decide to keep a lot of your enemies alive, then your arm will become a white arm. So what they call the divine arm and the dark arm. And during the game, you made up with different kind of allies that you can use in different missions, and the affinity of your allies depends also on the condition of your arm. So if you are a dark arm sorcerer, the divine arm sorcerer might not be listening to your commands, and at the same time is that because the divine sorcerers basically are the ones that who save life, so they could even act against your will to perform actions in during the mission that actually would annoy you. So that is that is a very interesting kind of concept. And but what I like about the game is the online option of the game. Is the online play of the game was really well built. So you basically, the online part of the game are just dungeons after dungeons and bosses after bosses, but then they were very challenging bosses and they reward handsomely if you actually manage to do it. And you can team up on the fly with 4 people to complete the dungeon, and what you get depends on how you perform in the dungeon itself. And the good thing is you can actually either, if you're, for example, if I play with Dan and Dan was down but I actually have a choice of whether I want to sacrifice Dan to increase my stats, so actually I can save him. Yeah,
That's horrible.
so if you actually sacrifice your partner, then the partner who got sacrificed will have a last super spell that take out a huge chunk of HP from your boss. But it doesn't mean that your so you cannot act anymore on the battlefield, but then you can, depending on your level, you can actually affect the outcome of the dead person can actually affect the outcome of the battle in a way that it can help to increase your allies who are still alive, their stats, by tapping on them and making certain options on the battlefield.
Okay.
So it's very interesting because sometimes you will be in a situation that if an ally is keep on going down, and that the ally actually knows that he would not be actually helping for example, because what they call the offerings, the magic that you can use, will break if you don't replenish your supply within time. So if you, for example, if you have a spell that you can cast 13 times, after you cast the 13 time, it will tell you that you have exhausted it. If you continue to try to cast it another time, you will break it. Once you break it, you cannot use it for the rest of your battle. So if someone has already broken all their charms or all their offerings, then that means they have no use in the battle. And they will basically ask you to sacrifice them. So you have an option on your screen when you're down. You have an option on your screen telling people whether you want to be sacrificed or you want to be saved.
Sacrifice me, please. Yes.
Yeah. Some people, when they know that they can't actually do any more in the battle, they will just ask you to sacrifice them.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So I think that makes the whole cooperative play very interesting.
Yeah.
In a way that, because then no single battle will be the same with the other battle. And I think that makes this game, I think the online section of the game is very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I spend a lot of time playing online, and because you play online, what you level up, you actually bring back to the game. So I started the game, I finished the chapter 1 of the game, and then I started playing with friends online. But now I'm only in chapter 4 of the game, but then I'm high level enough that Libram basically was telling me that I think you have a chance to finish off Megusa now, but of course it's your choice whether you want to finish reading me and find out what's happening with him.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and also there are aspect called the Black Rite, which you sacrifice part of your stats to actually achieve a super move.
Yeah.
And once you exercise that particular Black Rite, that kind of attack, then they will tell you which part of your stat is suffering a penalty, and you will carry on with that penalty until you pay off your price for using that particular magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you enjoy it? You like the game?
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
Playing it on a Vita instead of playing it on a big screen or a screen, TV screen?
It's a Vita exclusive.
Yeah.
So you can only play on Vita. But I think the controls are very solid.
Okay.
I think a lot of comments people having issue with the game is because the gameplay is very repetitive.
Yeah.
Basically, the gameplay is about just clearing dungeons and bosses, and that's all.
Right.
But then at the same time, I think what makes this interesting is not the single player part, is where the online multiplayer part comes in.
Right.
If you enjoy online multiplayer games, then this will be a game that is trying to achieve different kinds of things. Because there are certain offerings or there's certain magic you can only acquire through online play,
Mm-hmm.
because certain bosses are online bosses.
Right.
And the good thing is the company that makes Soul Sacrifice, they actually have free DLC every month.
Oh, right. That's all right.
Yeah, so they will every month they will have a new, for example, new dungeon or new magic or new bosses available for you to download. So
do you have to pay for it?
Back. No, they are free.
Oh, nice. So they just add to the world. Right.
That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's So I will write more about that game when I start writing it. It's just that at the moment I'm just kind of playing it quite a bit too much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your new White Knight Chronicles, isn't it?
Yeah, because they shut down my White Knight Chronicles server. I need to find something else.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've been playing a lot of Hard Reset. This is a game I bought. Hard Reset. Yeah, it's a game I bought this summer. Not summer. Oh God! One of the sales I bought it. It was like $2 or $3. I thought I was just coming off of playing Deus Ex, I think, Human Revolution, and I was looking for more cyberpunkish settings, and this was one which had some decent reviews in terms of gameplay. Storyline's a little bit, yeah, we got to kill those guys, yeah, and the actual character sounds like that too, but the gameplay is, I guess, more similar to, but probably not as stupid as what was that game that used to be? What's Sam? What was it called? No, not Dynamite Sam. Something Sam. You've heard of it, I'm sure. Sam. What is it? Am I saying the right name? Let me search for it. But it's that you would just shoot things constantly. There'd just be things coming at you non-stop, and yeah, that type of game. But this is cool because it's in the cyberpunk setting, kind of like if you could imagine being. If you've ever watched Serious Sam's game, Serious Sam. If you've ever watched, yeah, where things would just constantly just be shooting stuff all the time. So if you can imagine Blade Runner, that type of setting. And you're in it with guns and shooting stuff. So lots of robots and things like that as well. Very dark setting with, dark buildings and nice neon lights and massive billboard advertising and spaceships flying around in the background and very futuristic, yet still somewhat grounded in reality. Beautiful graphics for a game. I'm not even sure how old it is, but I'd not really heard about it. Like, it's not this AAA title or anything like that. And for one of those titles, it looks really nice. Like, I'll just spend time looking at a seat and thinking, damn, that's a good looking seat. Which has got nothing to do with the game at all. But furious action. For sure. So in terms of if you just want a shooter that happens to take place in a science fiction-ish world, then for the couple of dollars it costs, definitely worthwhile. And I think it's actually released as a director's cut or a Exile edition or something like that. And I was getting towards the end, which I had looked up previous because I wanted to know how long this was going for. And the first part was like 6 hours. And I was looking at my time, I was already over 6 hours, and I was thinking, what's going on? It's actually that they'd stuck a sort of expansion pack inside of it. So it continues on straight after you get to the end of the first part. And it doesn't actually tell you that this is the end of the game. It just continues. So I don't know. I must be getting close to the end of it now, but yeah, fun times for you Neocron fans out there and people who like a bit of shooting, a bit of mindless shooting. Terrible story. Well, I mean, story's very, yeah. We're doing this thing. Oh no, oh no, we've been betrayed. Oh, now we got to run away and shoot things, and I'm angry all the time. So it's kind of nothing new there, but gameplay kind of cool. Nice step away from your Call of Duties, or especially me just coming off the old Stalker series. And that's another thing which I played through all three of them, and you've got to install, you don't have to, but it makes it nice. It makes it all nice. But if you're playing it, go on ModDB and look up a thing called Completed. I think it's Complete. Stalker Complete. So whichever Stalker you're playing, look it up there. So just look up Stalker Call of Pripyat Complete, and you'll find a mod there which overhauls just about everything. Makes it look nice. As nice as it can in that world, that wasteland world. But my goodness, if that's not a brilliant sort of experience, being in the just desolate sort of area and with like, what do they call it? I can't remember what they call it. This thing happens every once in a while, and you've got to sort of take refuge underground or in a building or something like that. Otherwise, you just get wiped out. And it's got this name, and I can't remember the name. But it was like the first time it happened, I was like, "Wow, I'm just sitting in this hole, just hoping that this thing doesn't kill me." And you can hear it happening outside, and it's just freaky as.
Sounds scary.
Yeah, it's like I was panicking a little bit because I was like really far away from anything. I was like, oh my god, the sirens going off and people saying on the radio, quick, get to cover, and this I'm looking in the background and there's this flare in the background of it's hard to explain. It's just colors in the sky and it looks like something's about to explode, or it looks like a nuclear blast has just happened. You're just waiting for the fallout to come and hit you. So you've got to take you just got to hide somewhere really quick, and you just sit there waiting for this thing to end. And it's different. Like I've not experienced that in a game before. So and there's a lot of focus on, I guess, survival and so on, and you don't have unlimited bullets or all that sort of stuff, but you've got to scavenge and find weaponry here, and I guess Metro 2033 sort of does that as well. Play takes it to a higher level, while it's like I never had a problem running completely out of bullets, but it was always something that I was conscious of. Like I'd keep looking at how much this gun has, and I better not run out completely because who knows what's around the corner. And it can be unpredictable like that. Like you'll be just shooting like 2 or 3 dudes, and all of a sudden you encounter something you'd never seen before, and it's invisible. And you only see these eyes, and you can shoot the crap out of it, and it ain't dropping down. In fact, you just realize you've been shooting a tree for the last 10 seconds because it's not even there anymore. It's right behind you, clawing at you. So it's kind of intense, especially because it's got a day and night cycle as well. So some of those night times can be kind of freaky when there's like a pack of dogs, mutated dogs are on top of you, and you don't hear them until when you can just see them, and we're talking like a meter in front of you. So there's underground there's just too much, and it's a world which I would like not an MMO, but like a Skyrim type of world which you could just explore. So there are large world parts to the world, and you can explore it, but something that was, I think they've sort of separated the last game into 3 large areas. So if they could just get all 3 of those areas and combine them into one, and just or double the size of that, and just have all these random things you can look at and investigate and take an elevator that goes somewhere. Where am I going? Whoa, I'm here. What's these things? I don't know. But, there's just that sort of mystery about it, which is kind of cool. And the fact that it takes place in Chernobyl adds a little bit more. Well, I guess it adds a little fantastic authenticity. Yeah, a bit of creepiness to it as well. You're always looking at this radiation and hoping that you're not, going to take in too much of it. So, yeah, it's a game which I would recommend for sure. Just for the experience, and it's a type of game if you're tired of those first-person shooters. It's one of those type of games that it's a first-person shooter, but if you're totally sick of Call of Duty and so on, it's something different, and it's done quite well. I mean, it was fairly rough, I think. Some of them, maybe the first one, it's fairly rough when it came out. A lot of people talked about that. But with all the community add-ons and mods and so on, they've done a great job to adding to it without destroying it. So it's spiritually, it's all still intact. And they've just managed to, with love, increase graphics and that sort of thing. So I'm hoping the same thing actually happens to Aliens Colonial Marines, because that thing got like scathing reviews, absolutely ridiculous, like 40s, and some people just not even bothering playing it. It's just it's a shame, because what the original trailer demo thing that they showed off had me hooked. It was exactly the type of Aliens experience I wanted to play. I've never really had one that's been great or lived up to what I had wanted. Even Aliens versus Predator didn't really do it for me, and that was an okay game. So this one was the one that was supposed to be the one that was going to do it, and from the demo they showed off, it looked pretty good, and then something changed between that demo and the release, and as a lot of you probably know, it got bad reviews. So what I'm hoping is that the community does put some time and effort into, if they can. It'd be great, and put some effort into it, and tweak it and fix it, and put those graphics back in, those effects and so on. And I know that some people have been doing things, and I had seen a little bit. And I think even the game developers themselves did release a fairly sizable patch, which did fix some things, but some of the gameplay looks a bit really like the way the aliens move just look too rough. It's like it's an alien. It's supposed to move in a certain way. This looks like a human model, a human sort of model reskinned with an alien, and it just doesn't look right. So yeah, no, I'm enjoying what the community does to some of these games, and the fact that they don't give up. They say, no, we wanted that game too, and damn it, we're going to do it ourselves, you know. So off they go. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Also been playing a bit of Killzone, but that's not much. That's nothing new. I've I want to get through the original one on the PS2, and then I'll start playing 2 and 3. So yeah, but there is one thing on the PS3 that has me a little bit interested. There was a game a long time ago. Must be 10 years now, and I had it on the PS2, and I didn't play it, and I don't know why I didn't play it. I sold it. I got rid of it. I think it was one of those games which I thought, I like the idea, but I just don't have the time. I had just played Silent Hill this and what's the other one? The Fear. What's it called? Oh, the one with the camera. What's that one? You both know it. The camera game.
Project Zero.
Project Zero, that's the one.
Project Zero.
Yeah, and then I had this other game, and I was going to play it straight after that, and I was like, I think I've had a bit too much of these scares. The whole scares game, surviving the horror. So I opted to not play that, and I probably play Call of Duty, who knows. Anyway, so I sold that game, but I'd always thought about it, and I was thinking about it today, and it was called Forbidden Siren.
It's an awesome game.
Yeah, I regretted getting rid of it, and I'm glad I remembered it today. So
I think they have an HD version on the PS3.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking at it on the store today, and I'm thinking about getting it. I think I might get it.
It's a crazy game, man. The story is just crazy.
Yep. And there's also a movie. They made a movie apparently, Forbidden Siren.
Really?
Yeah, they did make a movie out of that. Yeah.
I don't know what the name is.
Oh my god, I want to watch it.
I think they actually show it overseas.
Okay, right. Yeah, so I want to see what that's about. But I also want to play the game. I'm thinking about getting that game, and I think there's also I had no idea that this happened, but I was why didn't they make a Forbidden Siren 3? And apparently there is one. There's Siren Blood Curse or something like that, which is the PS3 game, which came out at some point. I don't know if it came out in Australia.
That is Forbidden Siren. Basically, it's an HD version of Forbidden Siren. They actually fixed some of the bugs of the original game and re-release it in HD. Yeah.
So Siren Blood Curse is a remake. Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay. I thought, because I saw that as well, and like on the PSN store, it's on there as Forbidden Siren. Like you can get the original, and there was also Siren Blood Curse, and I was like, Siren Blood Curse must be the third one. So, but if it's actually just a remake, maybe I'll just get that.
Yeah. So for example, in the first game, that really annoys me was that you go to look for a key, and it will ask you whether you want to pick up the key. Then you pick up the key. You go to the truck, and then we'll ask you whether you want to open the door. Yes, you want to open. Are you sure you want to open the door? Yes, I want to open the door. And then
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't open the door. It's asking me this so many times.
Gonna jump out.
You want to get into the driver's seat. And then yes, I want to get onto the driver's seat. Do you want to put your key into the? And to a point that I just started to forget about it.
You know what? That's okay. I'm seasoned in that practices because I used to play a lot of Space Quest, King's Quest, and all that in the original format, which you had to actually type this stuff. Open the door, get in, sit down, put on your belt. Are you typing this stuff the whole way through? And I was like, dude, you're in the car. You know what to do. Do it. No, you don't, because you're the one that's playing this. I'm just the avatar. You got to move me around. I'm like a robot in this world for you. So, yeah. Okay, but I can understand how that would get a little ridiculous. Like, what happens when we go to the toilet? Do I have to do everything? Do you want me to run through it all? Is that what's going on? Shall we eat? Do I have to describe eating to you? Are we going to choke if I don't? Yeah. So anyway, that's one thing which I'm looking forward to. I might, I'll have to check out both of those and see what the deal is there. So,
but I think you should give Project Zero another
I did. No, Project Zero I've played. Yeah, 1 and 2. I played 1 and 2. I haven't played 3.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I played 1 and the second one, Crimson Butterfly, wasn't it? Crimson Butterfly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I played both of those. Number 2. Oh, I've talked about it on this podcast before, but just yelling at that girl, saying, "Don't! Why did you were almost out? Why do you want to go back? Yeah,
Mario!
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right.
I think Crimson Butterfly is the best one in the whole. It's like,
oh,
I mean, I haven't played the fourth one because the fourth one never came out of Japan.
Ah, right.
Yeah, but for the first 3, I think the second one was the best.
Yeah,
it's so intense.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to leave it there because I have to run off and help the wife because the kids are coming home. But thanks for being here, and Phuong and Haven, thanks for being here. We have had a couple of technical issues, but you know, what podcast wouldn't be complete without its technical issues?
Exactly. Then people know that it's live.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I don't know when we're doing the next one. Maybe 2 weeks, and maybe an RPG soonish.
Yep.
Cool.
Seeing as you two will be,
and I will get you the Soul Sacrifice review up as soon as possible.
Cool. All right, and probably the next podcast we'll be talking about Last of Us a little bit because everyone will have played.
So I will bring The Last of Us to iPhone tomorrow.
All right.
And you have a play first, and then we'll talk about it.
That's the one.
Yeah, I think I might buy the game when the game comes down in price later and finish it off because I do want to know how the story ends. It's just at the moment I think it's a bit too intense for my taste.
Well, that's okay because you two work together, so now it's like you can just share it. Yeah, exactly like the video. You're just sharing games. Here we go. All right, cool. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.